Imagine this. You're done with the US. You've Googled how to move to Canada more times than you've filed your taxes. You're dreaming of moose, maple syrup, and universal health care. But before you pack your flannel shirts and pledge allegiance to Drake, you might want to pause. Because Canada? It's not the utopia you think it is. In fact, moving to Canada might be the biggest mistake of your life. Yep, I said it. And no, this isn't a paid ad from Texas. 1. Healthcare is free, but so is the wait. Let's start with the crown jewel of Canadian living, universal healthcare. Sounds amazing, right? You get sick, you go to the hospital, and they don't slap you with a $10,000 bill just for breathing. But here's the twist. You also don't get to see a doctor anytime soon. In Canada, the wait time for specialists can be longer than your last relationship. Need an MRI? You might have to wait 3 months, unless you're willing to drive 5 hours to Moose Jaw. A 2023 study showed that Canadians wait an average of 27.4 weeks between referral and treatment. That's almost 7 months. You could literally grow a whole new personality in that time. So yes, it's free, but good luck if you need urgent care and your appendix has other plans. 2. The weather is trying to kill you. Oh, I love snow, said every American who's never experienced Canadian winter. Canada isn't cold. Canada is disrespectfully cold. In Winnipeg, temperatures regularly dip below -30 degrees Celsius. That's -22 degrees Fahrenheit for my Fahrenheit faithful. At that temperature, your nose hair freezes. Your tears freeze. Your will to live freezes. You think Chicago is bad? In Canada, winter doesn't last 3 months. It lasts until the next election cycle. And let's not forget, Canadians have to shovel snow just to get to Tim Hortons. That's not cozy. That's cardio punishment. 3. Taxes that make California blush. Americans complain about taxes all the time. But if you think Uncle Sam is greedy, wait till you meet Daddy Trudeau. The top marginal income tax rate in Canada can hit over 50%. That's right, you're giving away half your paycheck just to keep the roads pothole-free and fund moose relocation programs. Oh, and sales tax. Depending on the province, you might pay up to 15% extra on every purchase. That $5 Starbucks latte? It's now 5.75 cents. And it's cold. Because, see previous section. 4. You probably can't even move there. Here's the plot twist that most Americans miss. Canada doesn't actually want most of you. It's not a walk across the border and high-five a Mountie situation. Immigrating to Canada requires points, like a video game, except way less fun and no cheat codes. You'll need a job offer, a degree, work experience, clean criminal record, and preferably the blood of a beaver god. Even if you're a brain surgeon who volunteers at soup kitchens, you still might get ghosted by Canadian immigration. And don't even think about overstaying your visa. Canada has polite border agents, but polite doesn't mean they won't deport you with a smile and a complimentary pamphlet titled "Nice Try." 5. It's not as progressive as you think. So you think you're escaping US politics for a liberal dreamland. Spoiler, Canada has its own mess. There's racism. There's Indigenous injustice. There's political division. And yes, even Karen sightings in the wild. Ask any Black Canadian or Indigenous community member. Canada has a shiny reputation, but a shady basement. And freedom of speech? It's protected, but there are laws against hate speech that are way stricter than in the US. You might go viral for the wrong reasons real quick. Plus, remember the Freedom Convoy protests? That was Canada's trucker version of a midlife crisis. So yeah, don't expect some socialist Disneyland. Number 6. Cost of living isn't cheap. You thought you were escaping LA or New York rent. Welcome to Vancouver, where a one-bedroom apartment costs more than your soul and firstborn combined. Toronto isn't far behind. Rent, gas, groceries, everything costs more. Yes, even maple syrup. And don't forget about cell phone bills. Canadians pay some of the highest mobile data rates in the developed world. That free healthcare comes with a not free Wi-Fi bill. So while you're imagining a cozy cabin in the woods, what you'll actually get is a cramped condo next to a highway in -20 weather. Number 7. You'll always be an outsider. Let's be honest. Canadians are nice, but they know you're American, and they don't forget. Expect years of passive-aggressive, "Oh, that's interesting," whenever you bring up football, your love for peanut butter and jelly, or say the word aluminum wrong. Also, culturally, Canada isn't as familiar as you think. Sure, they speak English, but there's a French-speaking province, Quebec, that barely tolerates Canada, never mind you. In fact, if you move to Quebec and don't speak French, good luck. You'll be treated like a mime with laryngitis. 8. Jobs are scarce, especially for Americans, but I'll just get a job once I get there. Oh, sweet summer child. Unless you're in a high-demand field like tech, healthcare, or moose herding, it's hard to land a job as a foreigner. Employers have to prove they couldn't find a Canadian to fill your role before hiring you. And spoiler alert, they always find one. Also, credentials don't always transfer. That degree you paid $200,007 fit in the US. Canada might look at it and go, "Cute, but do it again." 9. You'll miss the chaos. This is gonna sound weird, but you might actually miss the US. The freedom, the hustle, the weird Florida headlines, the late-night tacos, the Super Bowl ads, the fact that you can get pancakes at 3 a.m. without judgment. Canada is calm, almost too calm. You might go from "I need peace" to "I'm bored out of my freaking mind" in 6 months. You'll start watching US news again, just to feel something, and don't get me started on sports. You better love hockey or be ready for a lifetime of lonely Super Bowl Sundays. Number 10. It's not a political paradise. Let's bust one final myth. Moving to Canada doesn't make you immune to bad policy or annoying politicians. Justin Trudeau. Depending on the year, half the country loves him, the other half wants him voted off the island. Policies change. Inflation happens. Housing crises don't care what flag you wave. If you think Canada is going to solve your political anxiety, bad news. They've got their own headlines, their own outrage, and yep, their own version of Fox News. You're not escaping. You're just subscribing to a different brand of dysfunction. Look, if you genuinely love Canada, go visit. Enjoy the poutine. Pet a moose. Say "A" without irony. But moving there? That's a whole different syrup bottle. Canada isn't a backup USA. It's a whole country with its own culture, rules, problems, and yes, frozen nose hairs. So if you're thinking about moving just because the US is stressful, maybe just take a nap, delete Twitter, and eat a taco. Because while America's got issues, at least you're allowed to complain loudly, get same-day Amazon shipping, and watch your dog run for mayor in a small town. Canada might be beautiful, but it's not a one-size-fits-all paradise. If you made it this far, you're either really angry or slightly convinced. Either way, drop a comment below. Are you still planning to move to Canada? Or did this video shake your syrup dreams? Hit that like button if you want more brutally honest travel advice. And don't forget to subscribe, because we're just getting started. And remember, the grass is always colder, greener on the other side.